We match though, you know. Live from Los Angeles, welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessica Moyer. This is Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Apple TV and Roku. And it's Friday, y'all. We got Friday feels in the house.
That's right. So dating, love, and relationships, what we talk about on Friday, is really about consciousness and bringing our awareness more to having more empowered relationships. And we have an incredible couple that work together and are intimate together. We're going to get some tips from them. And we have an amazing man who's all about restaurants and where you can go on your date night. Great place to go. Many places to go.
All right.
Absolutely. We're so excited to welcome to the show Tambi. She is the Focus TV food. She is in the house and she brought Mr. Jeremy Fall here today. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Oh, we also have the author and power couple of London Angel Winters and Justin Patrick Pierce.
Yes.
In the house, the Awakened Woman's Guide to Everlasting Love. I cannot wait to find out your secrets. Oh my God. Anyway, first things first. Here on Good Morning La La Land, we like to know how you start your day, what your morning routine is like. And I have a feeling you've got a spicy morning routine, Justin.
You could say something like that. Yeah.
I could. Tell me a little bit about your morning routine, you guys.
Well, when we wake up, what we do is we have separate practices. I mean, we're pretty spiritual. It's the foundation of a lot of the intimate work that we do. So I'll wake up and I'll immediately go into breath work and still meditation. And then London will actually engage in a practice where she's doing more movement with breath. And it's also a form of expressive or moving meditation. And after about 40 minutes to an hour, we'll then come together and practice together, doing presence and polarity practices, which we describe in the book. That's just the way we start our day, to really put relationship as the first piece. Really be mindful of the way we're relating to one another.
Wow.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. London, anything else you want to mention about this morning routine?
You know what it does is it connects me to the divine feminine, and it really puts me right in touch with that love light that lives inside of me. And you know, even if Justin and I only come together in intimate practice for 10 minutes, that is like a slingshot that just gets me through the rest of my grind. You know, it's like it makes life worth living.
Wow.
All right, love that.
Yeah,
So beautiful said. What else do you know?
I'll have what she's having.
And then you'll have one of these, so just know.
Really excited, so it'll take a second. Tambi, what's your morning routine like? How do you start your day?
My morning routine is not like that.
My morning routine, I hike every morning, and that's my Zen time. But we're here to talk about breakfast, morning breakfast at night, so we'll tease that a little. And
My morning
See
routine?
you deflecting.
Jerry, what's your morning routine? I mean, since you have breakfast for dinner,
It's not
are you
quite,
having dinner for breakfast?
It's not quite similar as yours. I scramble eggs and about a pound of butter right when I wake up. That's my connecting with my inner
For
self.
me, I don't think there's anything sexier than really good butter. So, you and I will just fine. Well, thank you all so much for being here. We're excited to talk to you more later in the show.
Right, it's all about ghee these days, right?
Ghee, right.
I mean, it's like, you know, it's so, for those that don't know out there, it's like a part of the butter that's supposed to be really good for you, to build your hormones, all that stuff. So it's like, you only want that part of the butter, supposedly. I like all butter.
I want all the butter, all the things, French butter, sign me up, salted, whatever.
I love it. I use butter like dip. That's what I really want to do.
I don't discriminate. Well, we're so excited that you all are here today, so thank you for that.
For sure, so excited. So what's up, you guys? I got up at 5:30 this morning, worked out this morning.
There
it was
you go.
Awesome. I'm so excited to get on this new track. I was like looking, okay, so when's the sunrise? It's like, and then when does it actually get light? It gets light at like 5:22. So I was like, oh, there's the sign. 22 is my number. So I was like, this is meant to be. So it gets light, and I'm gonna start working out with Ryan in the morning. This morning I did it solo, but I just went on a nice jog, and
Wow.
it was a great way to start the day.
Look at you, 5:30. That's amazing. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Did it feel good?
Well, you know what the thing is is that I find there's every excuse in my book if I'm like working out at 6 or 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
There's so many social things. It's really hard to be really consistent.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, this is ridiculous. If I'm going to get consistent, which I don't know, we'll see if I can do it. It's going to have to be in the morning.
It's true. I just don't have the willpower, or the energy, or the motivation like later in the evening.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love working out in the evening, but
Yeah?
it's
Yeah.
really too spontaneous.
Yeah, I feel you.
Well, I worked out. I got fit with Ryan this morning. I'm very proud of
You
myself.
did as well?
Yeah,
What's
I did.
happening here?
I
This is
did.
amazing.
Rob,
I'm
because
so sorry. I feel bad about it.
Well, you're a life coach, and so we've been listening to what you've been doing, and it's a common denominator among many
Yep,
of our guests that
for
some of the
sure.
most successful people are waking up their day and getting fit, setting their mind right with their intentions before they take on anything else. So before I even looked at my inbox, I was at the gym, fumbling around, but day 2 was much better than day 1. And I was talking with Ryan. I'm really excited because I want to give a shout out to an event that's happening today from 9 to 2. There's the LA Veterans Resource Expo. It's in the Pomona Fairplex, and it's a great resource for veterans in Southern California to go and seek jobs, health advice, and other resources for their homes. And we really just want to support that community of veterans here in Southern
Yeah,
California.
Ryan's amazing. He's works with all of us here. He's a trainer, but he's a vet, and he's also he does all this nonprofit stuff with all the kids in Mexico
Divine Love
and
Movement.
Divine Love Movement and the homeless, and he's just an extraordinary human being. And that's, I think, for me, the show what has brought forward is all the different relationships of extraordinary people. It's just incredible.
Yeah, he's just just got a great heart.
I know,
Love
right?
that.
Speaking of great heart, we're so excited because we are going to be celebrating the 50th annual block party for the Concern Foundation this weekend. It's at the Paramount Lot. Here's a look at what happened at last year's event. We're so excited. It's been 50 years. It's the 44th annual block party, and they have the best time. This is the first time we're going to be there. We know Tambi has been there before in the past, interviewing some of these incredible chefs. They're having over 70 of LA's finest food establishments are going to be there. Great food, great wine. There's Tammy. Take a look. Woo! Cheers to that. We can't wait to celebrate with her. It's going to honor Cancer Crusaders, Dr. Jay and Chris Calvert and their family. You're going to find Rob and I playing a little blackjack. He says he's always rolling the dice every day, so we're really excited. Tambi has been involved with the event for several years, and I'd love to know a little bit more from you, Tambi, about your experience with Concern Foundation. What's that been like for you?
Well, it's a wonderful event. It's at the Paramount Lot. I think it used to be in Beverly Hills, but it's a bunch of chefs and food and restaurants, and it all raises money and awareness for cancer, which is important, as we know, and it brings a lot of the community out, and it's at Paramount, and it's just a really fun afternoon, early evening. So if there's still tickets available, I suggest you try to get them because
Absolutely. Well, tickets are available at theconcernfoundation.org. Donations can also be made. So what has been the most memorable moment of this event for you in the past?
Oh my God, there's so many, I don't know. The most memorable moment, I think it was really amazing last year when Eden Albert got an award. She's been part of the Focus family for so long, and it was really an honor to interview her. Again, I had interviewed her at her restaurant, Vibrato, and then to interview her, and her dad was also recognized. That was pretty exciting. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love Eden Albert.
We love Eden, and we love you. We're excited to celebrate with you this weekend.
That's right. So it was a new moon officially, I guess last night or today, depending on where you are, but it's a new moon and partial solar eclipse. So here we go in this conversation again. It's like
So what does this mean for me,
right?
personally?
Actually, no, I think, okay, so we've talked about this, right? So do we believe in astrology or not? Of course we believe in astrology. How can you not believe that we're not connected with the stars? But the interpretation, sometimes I don't necessarily agree with. But today, I think that Elephant Journal, for me, was like on point with what
They say.
well, it's just basically like it's all about energy. So obviously we're water and we're all energy, so we're connected. And so as the moon comes, or as the full moon or new moon, we're in alignment with that. So basically it energizes whatever's there for us, good and bad. So whatever is happening within our relationships, because that's what happens when emotions go up. It's not like you know, all of life is a relationship. So it just magnifies that. So whatever is happening is going to surface, you know? So whatever is needing to be revealed will be revealed in energetic magnification. So a solar eclipse is basically when we have the what's it called? The shadow goes on the Earth versus lunar eclipse is when it goes on the moon. So right now we're in a partial solar eclipse. So what does that mean? That means we're ending a cycle. It means that we are now, it's like we're in cycles with the universe. And so whatever needs to end is going to end. And whatever is the new chapter is going to begin. And so that's the new moon, and then it's also the solar eclipse. It means whatever's dark is rise to the surface, and we get to acknowledge it and either be done with it or it's going to transform in some way.
Wow,
Warning. Nobody gave me the warning about the new moon or the solar eclipse. I just woke up reeling. So what are the best ways to kind of handle that, Erin, when these emotions are bubbling up, when you're feeling the effects of this?
Great question. I think first is just feel it. You know, we're so afraid of feeling, and I think communication is really important. And sometimes it is hard, you know, sometimes it's not comfortable to get into communication. But that's what we have to do, right? So just acknowledging it, acknowledging where our truth is, what we're standing for, what the principles are that we want to live by, and making sure that we communicate that and make sure we can get in alignment with the people that we love and that are in our life, right?
Which is exactly why my horoscope from the Daily Om said to moderate my expression. Warning.
Warning. They didn't say warning.
I said warning.
She said warning.
I said warning.
She's giving herself a warning.
I am. I'm putting myself in check right now. I'm just going to moderate this expression. It said, don't give your opinion unless it was asked for. So I'm just going to wait for you all to ask for my opinion.
Just breathe it in.
Breathe it in. Yeah, it's intense. I think it's like, well, if you think about it, it's like between the new moon, the full moon, I mean, we're talking every 2 weeks here. It's not like we're like, you know, whoo, we're over that one. Like, it's a cycle all the time, and we have so many emotions.
It's exhausting. That's why I feel like I need in fact, we're going to take a break because I need a break.
Let's take a break.
Perfect.
Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into This Week in Focus. My name is Victoria Simone, associate producer here at Focus TV Network, America's first live streaming daily talk show network, but you already knew that, and today I have my favorite girl.
Jez Moyer, co-host and producer of Good Morning LaLaLand, America's first live streaming daily talk show.
Yes, so last week on the Focus TV Network, we had the Renwood Show.
Featuring Malcolm Hatchett.
Yes. We had on hashtag Harry and Kelly,
Tara Erickson, and that girl is on fire.
Fire.
Hilarious.
We had the Alyssa Goodman Show.
With Dana James.
Ooh. And we had Good Morning LaLaLand, Miss Jez Moyer, who was on that show.
On Good Morning LaLaLand, we were featuring Shannon Kay. She is an incredible songstress and recording artist.
Amazing.
We love her. She's got a great new hit single. Burt Ward, the gentle giant himself. He is the OG Robin from Batman and Robin, Adam West Virgin, and now he has created this incredible dog food company.
So cool.
We also had Roger Neal the second. He's a recording artist. He had an incredible show at Huntington Beach, and we had him on our show to tell us all about it.
That boy can really dance.
And sing. I was proud to feature on the show Dr. Lakey and Dr. Daniel Porter.
Woo!
Woo! They have played an incredible part in my personal healing and brought to life so many of the dreams and visions of the people of Beverly Hills at their plastic surgery center. And Dan Holtz, the co-founder of the Beverly Hills Rejuvenation Center, was here. He was talking stem cells, hormones, and thyroid to really live your most beautiful life from the inside out. And we also had Brittany Zoniger here with her show Purpose. Incredible. She had Mike Hill, creator of Acro Yoga, with Andrew Seeley, and they were doing acro literally here on the couch. I think I saw you up here flying.
I attempted it.
Keyword attempted. But you did it oh so gracefully.
Thank you. Are you going to try it when he's here next?
Absolutely
Yes,
not.
we're going to see some footage of that.
But I will show you my new show called Startup Studios. It's featuring some of LA's hottest entrepreneurs.
Awesome.
And we had some fun filming here on our 32 other talk shows. Let's take a look.
You got this, girl. Here we go.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me laugh.
That was a good practice one, though.
It was a practice run, a little slow on the uptake. Let's.
Hi, my name is Jessie Golden, and I am the creator of The Golden Secrets. A completely, no, hang on a second, sorry. Can we start over?
I'm Wendy Brokaw. I'm Paula Marshall. By the way, this is politics, okay? This is not ticks. I hated it. Let's do it one more time.
Well, that's why I created Just a Thought meditation recordings so that you can meditate in your sleep. Pause it there. Can you edit it in?
Being new in town, it gives me a perspective on, oh shit, no, that was wrong.
No, can we start all over? That's too much talking.
No, I'm an actress. I mean, you've seen me. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's like so hard. It's so hard. That was so hard.
Once you go chocolate, you don't want to stop it.
Oh, God.
I'll stop.
Let's do it one more time.
Bitching,
Didn't work.
complaining.
Let me do it one more time.
We're going to do it one more time.
Ready? And action.
Do I just talk again?
If you are vegan, you get a vegan broth. Jesus, guys. Fuck. I'm blah, blah.
I wish my boobs looked like yours. Where are they?
Andy, did I make it fun yet?
Thank you. It's no longer a golden secret. We're done.
Thanks so much for tuning into This Week in Focus. My name is Victoria Simone.
And I'm Jasmine Moyer.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are so excited because it's #FridayFeels, and we're talking dating, love, and relationships, and a little intimacy.
It's a hot topic.
Absolutely. So, you know, typically we like to have a question of the day. What's our question today, Erin?
Well, the question of the day is, what does intimacy mean to you? That's a
loaded
topic.
question.
So
I'd love to toss that back to our
do
special
it.
guests that are in the house today. Intimacy experts right here. Justin and London are in the house. They wrote this incredible book, The Awakened Woman's Guide to Everlasting Love. So what does intimacy mean to you?
Intimacy to me means feeling met. And that can happen whether we're in the kitchen and we just brush by each other, or we're in the bedroom in full embrace. But intimacy, you know, into me you see, it's a way of showing up to your partner where you actually feel like you get the connection you've been craving your whole life.
sign me up, sister.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Well, what about you, Tambi and Justin? What does intimacy mean for you guys? Because I've had a few intimate dinners myself, a few intimate experiences with breakfast or butter for that matter.
Well, you know, intimacy comes from that root word intimus, which can even be translated to like innermost. So when we're connecting with one another, we can feel those surface levels of intimacy and attraction that take place. But once we get to know someone and we really want to deepen relationship, there's different layers that we start relating from. And that experience is a deepening of intimacy. The deeper we can connect, the deeper we can feel into one another. And it's really understanding that intimacy occurs not just sexually, but in all moments. The way we give our partner our presence, the way we make eye contact, the way that we hold them, the way that we cook alongside of them. All of those can become very intimate experiences if we begin thinking of them that way.
All right. Love it.
I feel totally fulfilled. We can go now.
I'm not going to go until I have some breakfast for dinner and get a little intimate with that. Jeremy, what does it mean for you in your world?
I'm glad you brought up food because I was going to say that and I felt we were just talking about food every single response. I mean, I guess any experience that has any sort of emotional connection, whatever it be, romantic or even family, that can be a level of intimacy. It doesn't necessarily have to be sexual or romantic. So to your point with food, I think food brings people together and that creates intimate moments.
I couldn't agree with you more. Well said.
Thank you.
Well said. Well said. Well, thank you all again for being here. We're looking forward to getting to know more about you later in the show.
Food is such an intimate thing, right? I mean, to share a meal and have that experience, it can be one of the most intimate things you can do.
Well, yeah, I mean, some of our first experiences in life, we connect love and food, right?
For
Mom is giving us food, or dad is giving us
I've
food.
been in counseling ever since because of
Yeah.
that.
Really? Yeah. Working through those issues, huh?
It's true, so true. So you guys, today's hashtag Friday Feels, and we talk about dating, love, and relationships. And we've been doing a question of the day. We've had call-in and DMs and things like that. So today's question, I think, for me, was one of the most advanced spiritual kind of questions that I've been really playing in still. And it is this. So the question goes, it seems that relationships where have the most chemistry don't last, and the relationships that I don't have much chemistry last a long time. Do you think it is better to date someone that you have major chemistry with, or to date someone that you're good friends with? And I think this is such an important conversation. So personally, I had to, so in spirituality, we know there's this law of polarity, okay? So a lot of times we have limiting beliefs. For example, I had the limiting belief, I need to be abandoned, like love hurts, therefore I need to be abandoned. So the chemistry a lot before I did a lot of my spiritual work is I would feel this big polarity, like I need this person, because it was on a subconscious level to heal and bring that kind of, that abandonment issue up for me, right?
Absolutely.
So as soon as I began to heal those things, I called in, someone who was a best friend, and I didn't have as much of that polarity, right? And I was like, well, what's wrong? Is there something, is this good? Is this bad to have this polarity? But I completely agree with what they said, this amazing couple, because I believe that what happens is as we get more and more intimate with somebody, we're actually seen, we're actually fulfilled, and it's a completely different thing than that magnetism and that initial maybe chemistry. You could have both per se, but you don't have that fulfillment. So true intimacy is something that goes beyond friendship and that chemistry. It's something much deeper.
Absolutely.
What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, there's so much, so chemistry is, to even define that is a hard, right? How do we define chemistry? And there's an entire body of research and science out there around this. So the challenge really is that lots of chemistry is really driven by genetics, right? Because
reptilian brain, DNA,
totally. And a lot of it is aimed at, of course, reproduction and continuing the sort of the race onwards. So that, right?
I think that sounds so scientific.
But it is. It's physiological, it's biological, it's neurological. It really is hardwired to a large extent. Then there's a large part of it that's also sort of driven by nurture and programming, but even that could be a little challenged at times. And so, my experience is that I wouldn't want to choose one or the other. Of course, you want both. I don't know. What do you think, Jazz? I feel like you have thoughts.
I've experienced both relationships, where you have that deep friendships with somebody and you develop that intimacy. And I've had the complete opposite, where it was like fire in the beginning and then you develop a friendship with the person, or you don't. I don't know if there's a right or a wrong way to do that. Ideally, like you said, you incorporate both right from the beginning, but then it also gets tricky, because then obviously it begs the question, what about the friend with benefits? Right? Then you're like, oh, that we're friends and there may be some intimacy, but we're not really intimate emotionally with each other and like going down that romantic path. So
it's a good point, and I love what Dr. Ramani Davasala says. We've had her on the show. She's a friend of mine, and she says, part of the challenge that we experience in relationships is that we expect this one person to be our one-stop shop for everything. I'm not necessarily encouraging, open relationships or anything of that nature. And I'm not discouraging that either, but I'm simply saying that we want to be careful of asking one person to be our everything in any respect. And I think a lot of the dating experience, at least for me, is about data gathering. We're all different, and so science helps us to inform that, right? It's data gathering experience.
So romantic.
Yeah, but it is. We're having a conversation that requires a discussion around science.
I love that, because it's a perfect justification. You go on several dates and I'm just data gathering or whatever. Perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
What's interesting though is I think a lot of conscious leaders would say, go for that chemistry, but make sure that person's committed to doing work, right? So if you're really polarized with somebody, you've got and it basically pulls up these issues, it triggers things within the soul, brings them up. But if two people are willing to work on and go, this is the perfect thing, because we know this is what we need to heal together.
Yes.
So a lot of people believe that relationships are for, healing, and also for expressing a higher, whether it be bearing children or whether it be bringing an art form into this life, that there's really two main purposes to a relationship: to heal and to also reveal something that you birth together, whatever
Absolutely.
that is.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that's, that was something, I think, a trap that I fell into in the past, was thinking that a relationship of any kind could make me happy, right? And so if you go into relationships not to become happy, but instead to share your happiness with the other, and to even use it as a sort of way to heal,
to grow,
yes, and to grow, then it changes the game entirely.
Totally.
And I love what Justin in London said in the back there. You know, sort of intimacy is like into me, you see.
I love that.
And it's into me, I see, first and foremost. And so for me, it's all about, you know, relationships is an opportunity, all relationships are an opportunity for me to dive deeper into myself, understand myself better, and then be able to offer peace, love, and happiness to the other person, despite how they're showing up.
Totally.
So I love the chemistry conversation, but for me, I sort of take it off the table and make it more about how can I serve and
100%,
provide love and
sure.
joy to the person.
You're such a good man.
I'm not, but it's selfish.
Fan for The Bachelor immediately.
It's so selfish,
He needs
though.
to be the next Bachelor. We're voting him on.
It's
for
selfish
sure.
though, because I just like feeling good, and I like other people feeling good. So I want to. I love that. I receive that, but I don't think I'm a good person or a good man as much as I am just a selfish one that's committed to their own happiness. You know what I mean?
The evolved Bachelor, and they're all going to get married at the end. They all get roses.
That's right. That would be my. That's why I would not do well. Yeah, I would just everybody get roses. Everybody gets
Okay,
love.
let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to have some great conversations about how bringing intimacy into all areas of your life. Stay tuned.
Hello, Los Angeles. I am your host and producer, Alex Worley, filming inside Focus TV's West Hollywood studio. Welcome to Empowerista, a show dedicated to highlighting female trailblazers and empowering you to turn your barriers into breakthroughs.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Packrat.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting news from all over the world.
We are live.
Live from Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning LaLaLand. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jez Moyer. This is Good Morning LaLaLand, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Now also available on Apple TV and Roku. It's going to be a Good Morning LaLaLand. Welcome to the very first episode of Sadie Says. I'm your host, Natalie Sadie. Welcome, Daniel Hall. First episode.
I didn't even realize it was your first episode.
Hi, welcome to Dr. Erin Show. It's been a while since we've been here, and I'm so excited because we're going to be talking about discovering your purpose and calling, and I have Elle Russ in the house. Thank you so much for coming all the way down here today.
Hi everyone, and welcome back. I'm your host, Tara Tanner, and this is the Model Mama Show. I'm so excited about our guest today. We have Chelsea Cannell-Briggs, who this is literally a blast from the past, you guys.
It's true.
We haven't seen each other since we worked together at Fox Sports.
Hello and welcome back to the show. I am excited and delighted because we have an amazing guest. So thank you, Janie, for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm a fan of both of you.
I'm Jez Moyer, and this is LA Unscripted, and I'd love to welcome to my show Mr. Jacques Silverstein. Thank you so much for being here.
It's my great pleasure to be with you.
This is somebody who went from super nerd to supermodel, so I'm so excited. Let's talk to Anna.
Yes.
Anna, you were the winner of our very first Viva Glam model search.
Yeah, you guys were actually my very first photo shoot.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Reshape. I'm Allie Landry, and I am so thrilled to have our next guest. So I am so grateful that you are here with us at Reshape today.
Thank you, Allie. I'm so happy to see you. And you couldn't look more gorgeous if you tried.
Today's guest is best known for being the fitness guru on 6 seasons of The Biggest Loser. He's a New York Times best-selling author. Dolvet. Dolvet, we don't even say Quince anymore. It's just Dolvet.
It's like one name.
Dolvet.
You are tuning in to Slay with Rachel McCourt, and I have a fabulous guest, In studio with me is Liza Glukoff. She's just been named executive producer of programming at Awesomeness TV. We have perfect lighting. We've got some Spa Girl vodka in case we get a little crazy.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Millennial Life. I'm your host, Laura Odegaard, and today we are joined by the very beautiful former Miss California and now a TV host, Natasha Martinez. I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
Hello and welcome to The Jo Show. I'm Josephine, and here on our couch today is none other than the heartthrob of Shahs of Sunset, Shervin.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ren Wood Show. I am so excited for my guests today. I have the beautiful Bianca Hayes. Thank you so much for being here, Bianca. Give me a hug.
For this episode of Purpose, I'm your host, Brittany Zonker. I'll see you next time.
Hola, yo soy Gina Moreno y soy una reportera aquí en Los Ángeles. Para mí, mi pasión es para decir las historias de las personas que han luchado lo imposible. Todas las entrevistas aquí en Focus TV.
Hi, I'm Gina Moreno, a reporter here in Los Angeles, and my passion is to tell people's stories, the stories of people who have accomplished the impossible. For all the interviews, make sure to watch Focus TV.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLaLand. It's an absolute honor to be having this Friday feeling conversation with the incredible authors Justin and London of The Awakened Woman's Guide to Everlasting Love. Welcome to the show. We're so excited and honored to be able to celebrate you, celebrate the life inside of you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling very big.
Oh, you're looking absolutely
You look amazing.
gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah, we love the conscious conversation of dating, love, and relationships. It seems like it's one of the most fun ways of having this conversation. So tell us a little bit about your own personal journey in meeting each other and having this book come out and the whole process for you guys.
Okay, well, you know, I was one of those women in my 20s and 30s who just kicked butt in career. I won an Emmy, I achieved financial freedom through passive income. It was like I was the manifesting machine. I had the Midas touch in everything but love. It was not working for me. And so it really started to feel like a desert inside. You know, there was just, all of the accomplishments, they only did so much, and something else was hungry. And so at one point in my life, I just stopped and I said, I want to unlock this love equation. And I started to look deeper than the average. There's a lot of, you start looking into love, there's advice everywhere, right? But I started to go into the deeper spiritual realms, and I learned the art of surrender. And that was the game changer, because all of my life I was using that really like go energy to create, but that didn't work so good with the kind of men I liked. And so I started to cultivate the parts of me that could relax into the moment, feel pleasure, surrender into being led, those things. And immediately—
Which is not easy as a working woman, as a modern working woman who's career-driven, to absolutely surrender. I mean, you mentioned in your book that you don't have to be bulletproof, right?
Yeah.
To let down that guard, to let somebody else in, how do you even begin to do that?
I call it energetic agility, because when you go to work, certain skills work at work, like being trustable, not being emotional, being very level-headed, leading people, being having vision and strong will. But if you take that into a date, you're going to attract either somebody who wants to be led, like you're the breadwinner now, or you're going to butt heads with the kind of person who could lead you, because only really one person can lead at a time, right? So what I learned how to do, it's not easy, it's the hardest thing in the world, is take all of that cultivation of my more masculine principle to work, and then in the drive home,
She's the passenger seat in the drive. So this is true. It's so subtle, these dynamics we don't realize, but if you're driving the car, if you're in the driver's seat, you're actually playing the masculine role in that moment. And the passenger's in the passenger seat. And that's a metaphor for every moment in our lives. So if you're in the kitchen, you're saying, hand me that plate, give me this, get me that, go take out this. You're actually playing the masculine role in that moment. And if we're not aware of it, that begins to affect our relational dynamic. So what we talk about is first being aware of, how am I relating to my partner? You know, am I bringing my masculine and my feminine right now?
So I have a question about that, because for me, a lot of times bringing that masculine energy, I equate that to showing my self-worth. Let me show up in this moment, show you what a badass I am, and that I can do this and I can do that, whatever, and I bring this energy because I'm trying to prove I'm worth it. Respect me, admire me, appreciate me, rather than just sitting back in that.
It's so interesting you bring that up, because ultimately what we're in is a gender fluid culture. Women realize you don't have to have certain genitals to run with the big boys, right? And men are tenderizing their hearts. They're allowing themselves to be more permeable. They don't have to be so brave all the time. But what we realize when we look at what creates sexual attraction, it's opposites. So basically, if you are attracted to a very alpha strong man and you show up and prove how you match him, you just prove to him you're exactly the same. Which he might want to make a business deal with you or loan you money.
Which can work. It has its own purposes.
Right? You know, everything
That's
has a purpose.
Transactional relationship instead of transcending. Yes.
Precisely. But you know, now you guys are kind of occupying the same sexual pole. Whereas it would be so interesting if you went, you know, I have this love-driven part of me. What if I let her come out?
Oh, but that's the girl that gets hurt.
That's the girl that gets hurt. And this half of our book is really teaching, how do you re-embrace your vulnerability from the queen? How do you find that vulnerable, permeable place, but not totally lose yourself? You know, you still have sovereignty.
So I think what's interesting is that yes, yes, and yes to all this. Yes, we want to become vulnerable. Yes, we want that feminine side of us. Yes, we don't want to get hurt. How do we find somebody that's so open to say, I'm ready to be awakened also and heal this, like, right? So not everybody's in that conscious state.
True. Well, the biggest thing is you attract your reciprocal. So if you think about, if you wanted, let's say, like a man who could lead you, what we call alpha, so on the farthest end of that masculine principle would be alpha. He's living life essentially fearlessly as consciousness, right? Mindfulness, awareness, the ability to transcend the moment. He's looking for his equal and opposite over here on the opposite pole, which is someone who's living life fearlessly as love light. I'm willing to be the light of your life. I'm the color in your black and white world. And that's what creates those opposites that create the attraction. So what I encourage women to do is look at all the ways life beat that part of you out of the picture and take it back.
So I love that you say that, because a lot of the work spiritually is like a counterintuitive process. Instead of trying to be that, you just basically heal what needs to be healed.
Exactly.
And then the authentic space comes back.
Well, and you more than most know that that is who you are. Like it's this bubbling spring that nothing and no one could ever take away from you. But you can take it away from you if you guard against it, if you harden up, if you don't show it, if you get afraid. And this happens on such subtle levels. I call it another brick in the yoni wall. It's true, and then we have this like big brick wall right in front of everything that makes us stardust.
I love that.
You guys have some fantastic exercises and questions and tips and tricks in the book, and I was wondering if you could share just a couple of those things. Where can a person start? They want to become, that light. Where do they start?
A lot of work that we teach is very yogic in nature. So being aware of body postures and embodiment is a huge piece of it. So bringing awareness to body, just like you would in a yoga class, the way that you stretch and open your body, you're going to do it intimately too. Because a lot of these yogic practices, through breath and movement, are designed to liberate the clench. So this isn't about like booting up to become something you're not. This is very much about removing layers of the way that life kind of makes us very rigid. We calcify ourselves because the world is you know, it's tough out there, and we need to calcify to go be in the world and be successful in business. So these practices teach us how to unwind those tensions and get back to a very vulnerable, authentic way of relating.
I love that.
And is this something that people can sort of on their own? Is it best if they're led through this by an expert? You know, what's the best way for a person who's saying, you know, I'm just not meeting the kind of people out there in the world that I want to meet, and maybe I'm not being the kind of person, you know, that I want to be or that I need to be in order to attract those people? Do they go to an expert? Of course, they read the book. But do they go to an expert or just sort of do it on their own?
There are communities, you know, we have a yoga of intimacy community that we lead, and we do workshops, and those spaces give you hands-on experience of people interested in this, and you get to experience it and learn it firsthand. But otherwise, you can absolutely begin these practices on your own. The book is enough instruction to engage in it. And London has some amazing practices specifically for women to help them get started.
I love that.
Yeah, and you can download the practices. We're a big believer in the embodied experience, and so when you're guided, like literally cell by cell on how to hold yourself, you train yourself to literally reveal more of yourself. I always say, you know, a professional athlete can't learn the layup in the playoffs.
True that.
So,
True that.
Right. So a lot of it is, like you asked what our morning practice was, I'm practicing for the moment that I get his attention. You know, I'm practicing to let go of everything yesterday that hurt so bad, I hardened up. I mean, the truth is, life hurts, it really does. Every day we're getting number and number or more and more overstimulated. And so half of the work is to just come back into that essence that you are when there's nothing on top of it.
On here you say there's 3 pillars of everlasting love: presence, polarity, and devotion. Tell us about those 3.
So when you're looking at what does it take to sustain intimacy over a long time, you touched on this earlier, which is it's one thing to have a 3-month heated passion and then it kind of dwindles and then the next one comes in, but you want to be like a well-woven rug where every challenge brings you closer, and you can lean into that person. You can trust that they'll be there. They'll be your champion. They get to know you well enough to know you better than know yourself. And so our book is really not about how to have like a short-term fling, because biology will take care of that. Our book is about when the biology runs out, what do you do then?
So great.
Yeah, and those are the 3 pillars. So presence. Our culture is an epidemic of not being present. You know, we go somewhere, we're all on our phones, we get together with our loved one, we're looking around, our attention span keeps shortening, and all of this is affecting that intimate moment. So one of the key things that we're cultivating, always, Justin and I, is how to land all the way in the moment with each other. This is what has you start to feel met. Like when he looks all the way into your heart, and you don't have to feel like you got to be anyone but what you are. Half the time I burst into tears when this happens, because it's like touching something that doesn't get touched in our culture.
Let's just talk. I want you to just, but I want to touch on this before we run out of time. Do you mind if we talk about your age difference and all this stuff? Because I think it's really inspiring, personally.
Sure.
So you're 15 years older, correct?
14.
Depending on the time of the year, it's 14 or 15.
And you would never know, because you guys look amazing, and
Thank you.
but I do think it's an interesting thing, because I'm sure you had to overcome some stigmas and things like that, and kind of become vulnerable in some way. So I want to know a little bit more about like how you met and how that came about, because I mean, there's so many women. I have so many girlfriends out there that just almost have given up on love. I mean, literally, they're like, okay, whatever, let's just hang out with the girls and do some business. Like, this whole dating thing's not working out. So, like, you give us hope. Like, you know what I mean? Like, really and truly, you give so many women hope that are like, they've had their careers, they're now like, they're opening up their heart so they can bring in whatever that looks like. How did that come about?
It came about by not listening to my logical mind.
So many good things come about that way. Almost all good things come about that way.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really came about. It came about by me when I started doing this work, I realized that you can love on the surface and you can love in the depths. And you know, I'm 47 years old.
Wow, you look amazing.
That's only because of the hormones of the pregnancy. But you know, I'm just like everyone else. Like, I'm conscious that I have wrinkles. You know, Justin was dating all of these women when I met him, and if I had even thought about worthiness, I would have disqualified myself. But because of the spiritual work I do in intimacy, I know what I'm bringing to the table. I'm bringing love light, and that's ageless. I'm bringing depth. I'm bringing the ability to withstand adversity and still be your champion.
You're a lucky man, Justin. Let's just get this straight.
I know.
Well, the truth is, you're that way too, right? We're women who have lived. We've gone through pain and opened again. And I knew that's what I was bringing him, to help him become a better man.
Such a beautiful, beautiful point, and it's something that needs underscored, and I love that you've written a book about it, that you offer services and workshops and everything, because it's so needed, this idea that I think a lot of us fall into this belief that, call it maybe erotic capital, that it can't be increased or enhanced, and that it can't convert into other things, and that the spiritual capital and intellectual capital and all these things don't feed that, and then it's an entire capital portfolio that you have, and all of it can feed into that erotic capital, right?
Yes.
Yes. So can you talk to us a little bit about that? Because I think that's kind of what I hear you saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I was thinking that my erotic capital was basically my surface radiance, again, I would disqualify myself. But because I have a practice that connects me to this place that is so much juicier than anything I could put on my skin, when I'm sitting in front of Justin, I'm offering him that in devotion. This is that third pillar. I'm giving that to him for his sake. And my erotic capital is really dedicated to how am I affecting this man, and could his day go better because of the love that I know. And when you start getting out of your own stories, your own insecurities, your own twists and all the ways you've been hurt and everything bad that everyone said to you, all of that literally turns you into a troll. Even if you're pretending you're not, you're energetically holding this I'm not going to show you any of the things that make me shameful.
Aww.
But when you understand what your capital really is, you relax all of that. Your heart begins to lead. Your body is soft and conducting energy. You talked about water. All of your cells are connected to the magic of the universe. The man sits in front of that and he's like, this feels good.
Yes. Totally. It's such an interesting point. And I remember reading years ago these studies that basically found, and this isn't going to be a bit of a simplistic way of saying it, but for me, all these studies basically informed me that happiness, that the happier you were, the more attractive you were rated by everyone. The opposite sex seems that people rate you more attractive. And so when people say to me, oh, well, what do you think, guys find attractive in women? I'm always like, it's the energy. That's so, I think it's so underrated.
Yeah, filters can't do that.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Not so much.
And coming from the man's perspective, it's not just about going along to get along with her vision of love and her vision of romance, because I was a very spiritual person before I met London, but she pulled me into the spiritual intimacy landscape. And once I started to experience that work, I finally realized, wow, this spiritual exploration I've been doing, committing myself my whole life on my own, I can actually share that with someone. That doesn't have to be a solo journey at all. And once that was connected, my whole life changed. And I began directing my spiritual practice towards an intimate one. And through that, the gift that I received from London is, she's my muse. She fuels my purpose. She makes me push myself harder than I would on my own. I would fall into my own laziness in certain ways. And she doesn't do it by reprimanding me or shaming me at all. She does it through inspiration.
She's a queen.
And that's what the practice has allowed us to continue to sustain now for nearly a decade. Wow.
Amazing. You guys, so incredibly beautiful. I mean, honestly, I am so touched by your work. It's so on point and so needed. And for me, I need that. I feel like there's something in me that has died a little bit inside. And I have an incredible partner in my life, but we still I feel like this is the journey that I really want to be on within myself, and opening up that, that vulnerable place and getting this more in touch with the feminine. That it's just our culture just kind of has died that down because we've had to just put these strong coats on to survive. So I'm looking forward to reading the book. I'm looking forward to maybe getting one of your courses. Who knows? So yeah, where can people find you?
LondonAngelWinters.com, London.
Is that your real name?
That is my real name.
We're all about names around here.
I texted my mom. I was like, Mom, I can't think of anything better. What do you got for this girl? Because I have no idea. Yeah. So everything's on my website, and I also have an online women's circle where you can get like tons of information regularly that helps you take this book. Kind of like you were saying, takes this book and puts it actually into your life.
Love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. It is about to get hot in here. Kelly Russo is here guiding us through the ALS Hot Pepper Challenge.
Yes, I'm so sorry, but this is going to be fun. It's for a good cause. So first, you pick a hot pepper of your choice. Then you eat it on camera. Honestly, this is, this is an underfunded disease. With money, we can cure it. We're doing this, right? Oh, okay. Okay.
Ready?
Oh, it's hot.
No, it's getting bad.
It's getting bad.
Make your donations. We're challenging you, La La Land, to give back to ALS. Stay tuned tomorrow for more #FridayFeels. We are America's first live streaming daily talk show. It's been in Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are celebrating #Wealth Wednesday in house today. We've got Ms. Annalyn McCord and an angel himself, Mr. Matt Thompson. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
We had the honor of going to one of the Tech Coast Angel events, and it was truly one of the most inspiring things I've done in Los Angeles. I feel like I'm in entrepreneur night school.
The Tech Coast Angels is sort of like Shark Tank. We'll have a big auditorium, and then the entrepreneur will go up on stage and pitch their idea for 10 minutes. And then at the end of that, we'll decide, do we put in $500,000 or do we show them to the door?
So I've got a few ideas.
Yeah. Good timing.
We're really at the very beginning of a huge tidal wave, I believe, in the startup and angel funding.
It's huge. Hulu and Netflix and Maker Studios and Full Screen and all these great...
Focus TV.
Focus
right?
TV.
That I am a huge fan of the show, and I think that you're by far the best looking, most beautiful morning show I have ever seen. I mean, you're gorgeous. And seriously, I mean, the impeccable dress.
Right.
You guys are, and it's such an intelligent show. It's a show that inspires others, and I love your conversation, manifesting, making people feel good. It's really inspirational, and I'm really excited to see everything that happens with this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I want to echo Kevin's thoughts as well, because it is wonderful to see such positivity on TV. And like you were saying, relationships, it's your circle of influence, that starts your day off right, that, influences everything that you do. So I absolutely love the content, and just keep doing what you're doing.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are talking Friday Feeling today, and we are about to get intimate with food. One of my favorite restaurateurs, Jeremy Ball, is in the house. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And Tammy, I gotta give you credit. This article has me floored. In the latest issue of Focus magazine, there was a gorgeous write-up written by Tammy herself on Nighthawk. It is fabulous. Tell us a little bit about Nighthawk and the concept here.
So Nighthawk is a breakfast for dinner concept in Venice.
Say what? Breakfast for dinner?
Love that. That's usually people's reaction when they hear that. So yeah, breakfast for dinner. We're also open for brunch, but it's a breakfast for dinner primarily. It's an elevated take on breakfast food, right? So just creative, different ideas inspired by just traditional breakfast.
So what sparked this idea? I'm gonna have a dinner restaurant that serves breakfast.
Yeah, I always get asked that question. I was sitting at La Brea Bakery, and it really just hit me randomly. I know it's like not as
it's great.
No, that's
romantic
good.
as you like it.
Yeah,
to be.
moment of inspiration, moment of genius.
It was like
La
a
Brea.
napkin. I actually wrote it on a napkin.
Love it.
I don't have the napkin anymore.
don't need the napkin.
There's something like you feel like you're on vacation when on a random, because I'm on a maybe once a year you go, let's make breakfast for dinner. Like it's such a cool idea, and so that's so fun.
It's so much fun.
It's so funny because so many of my LA nights, we go out, we stay out late, and then we go to Mel's Diner and we eat breakfast. You get pancakes at 2 a.m. or eggs, bacon, and toast, and it just, so for me it was like, genius, hello, why didn't anybody else think of this sooner? Nothing's more rock and roll than breakfast at midnight.
So true. As a kid, I always wanted breakfast.
Yeah, that was one of the expressions, like the Sunset Strip. You know, and like in the night. You know, I'm actually born in '90. I do remember vaguely. That rock stars would be after the whiskey and the Roxy. All those clubs on Sunset Strip would go to Mel's. I think it was Ben Frank's at the time, and they would go breakfast for dinner. That's kind of how the whole idea came about, all on the napkin, all at once.
So, Tammy, what did you like about the restaurant? Tell us a little bit about your experience.
Well, the food is awesome. The concept is super cool. You walk in, it's got
booze.
Like it's got a boozy vibe. By the way, as a side note, best wallpaper ever in the bathroom. It's got all these rock stars eating breakfast and drinking coffee. Super cool. Oh yeah, we're seeing some of the video now. There's a really great drink. He does this spiked cereal milk, where they soak like Cocoa Puffs with rum in milk for 24 hours and then drain out the cereal and then serve the milk in these killer glasses. I think you're going to see them now with straws, and there we go. Delicious, guys. Yeah, super fun concept.
Yeah, that's one of our signatures. Definitely the spiked cereal milk.
Highly recommend it.
Cereal milk. That is.
What was your favorite menu item?
You know what? I really loved the sweet potato pancakes with the spiked syrup. For me, that was great. And the drunken French toast. Killer, guys.
I'm noticing a theme here.
Yeah.
Little alcohol.
It's a boozy breakfast.
It's a boozy breakfast. But there's a lot of choices on the menu. So
just a question for you, because I mean, you're very young. You have multiple restaurants, correct? Like, tell us a little bit about the mindset that it took you to.
I started very, very, very young. So it's
like 5 years 12.
No, I mean, I started. My mom had a cafe growing up, so I worked as like server at busboy and everything. I think I was around 11. I know there's like labor laws, but it was my mom. So it's fine. So I started like that, and then when I was 16, I had this idea to do an all-age event, which was basically renting out a nightclub. It was the Avalon in Hollywood. And we'd take at the door, no booze or anything, of course, but it'd create a nightclub environment for kids that were 12 to 17, which now sounds weird that I'm on this side of the hill. Back then it seemed normal. And then it ended up working out. The Avalon hired me, and then I worked in nightlife, bars, and came back to restaurants.
Wow. What have you learned in the entire process?
It's extremely hard. It's hard. It's hard. If you're not passionate about it and see it as a job, you can't do it because you're working 120-hour weeks. It can't be a job. It has to be a passion.
What's the hardest part?
I don't even know where to start.
Is it the people? Is it?
Yeah, I think
raising.
I think it's physically, emotionally, and just everything exhausting. And I think when you're at the end of the day, like when you spend so much time on something and you look back and you're like, I'm not out there curing cancer or anything. I'm making food. It puts you have to put things in perspective.
Well, and putting things in perspective and moving forward, you have an exciting new concept that's launching. Tell us a little bit about it.
Amidst all that, I'm opening more restaurants.
Because it's not enough already.
So there's one that's actually not too far from here called Easy's. It's our take on a diner. It's in Beverly Center, the big shopping center right close by.
And when does it open?
August.
Woo! I live a block from there, so I'm going to be over there every single night.
In the restaurant world, you don't say dates, you just say months, and sometimes years.
Sometime this summer, we'll say.
So where in the center?
So right when you enter the mall, the main La Cienega entrance, the first thing you see right when you're up the escalator is the restaurant. It's the first. It used to be a pet store in the 90s. When I grew up, I actually got a dog there as a kid.
Yeah. In full circle.
So the Beverly Center's gone through a big remodel and all kinds of things.
It's becoming a big foodie destination. There's a lot of great places there, And also Jeremy has restaurants in other states too. Tell us that.
in Chicago, which is a spin-off of Nighthawk in Venice. It's called Nighthawk AM. It's our fast casual version, so it's just grab and go. There's no alcohol in that one. It's just grab and go food, lunch and dinner as well.
And what would you say the culture of your community, like the people that come to your restaurants? Is there a culture?
Yeah, I mean, none of the food is pretentious. We use fresh ingredients. Our techniques are actually a lot more complex than you'd think for that kind of food, for comfort food. But I think it's people who appreciate the creativity and appreciate good food and something that's different without trying too hard, without trying to be over the top. We don't have smoke coming out of our food or nitrogen or anything. It's really just, it is what it is, and it's meant to, be comforting, right? That's what.
And you also have the place Silver Lake.
Highland Park.
Highland Park. Tell us about that.
It's called Tinfoil. It's
very cool.
It's a liquor store And it's actually, there's a speakeasy deli in the back. So you, with a password, you go through an employees only door, and in the back there's a deli where we make all our sandwiches from scratch. We cure our own meats, and everything is made there.
Oh, awesome.
Right?
That'll get me to the east side.
Absolutely.
Highland Park, yeah.
That's La Cienega.
Just for that. Tammy, I love your work and what you're doing. Tell us a little bit about your next episode of LA Chefs.
Well, coming up, I just interviewed the Prince of Venice food truck.
Ooh.
Yes, and this is the only food truck in Los Angeles that has a homemade pasta machine on board.
Wow.
And it's founded by a real prince. His father was the last king of Italy. So that's coming up for the next issue. Great story. He's actually a sportscaster, an entrepreneur, and he won the Italian version of Dancing with Stars. And he's got a restaurant opening also in Venice in the fall.
Oh,
so there'll be more about that coming up.
Restaurateurs are some of the most interesting people.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
We're sitting next to one of them.
Absolutely. And
Congratulations
we're excited to
on
go get your
success.
cheese.
Yes. Looking forward
Check
to
out my
checking it
house. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.
Welcome back to Friday Feels on Good Morning La La Land. We have had an incredible show. Thank you guys so much. Final question for the day is just what are you most looking forward to this weekend? I don't know if there's something specific, but I'd love to hear it. Want to start with you?
Just spending time with this little one. Chilling out.
They're so sweet.
I
I would
What about you,
say
Chris?
I'm looking forward to just really relaxing all of the edges and feeling juicy again.
Oh.
Wow.
It's hard to follow that.
It's been hard to follow that all show, by the way.
I look forward to relaxing and trying to sleep.
I'm heading up to Santa Barbara to a friend's house this afternoon, and I'm looking forward to just relaxing also and eating some good food up there.
Yeah, until we see you tomorrow at Paramount for the Concern Foundation event. We're so excited we're going to be there. Tickets are available at theconcernfoundation.org. We are Good Morning La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Don't forget you can listen to us. Good Morning La La Land is also a podcast available on iTunes.
Right. We're waking up the world together. Have a great day, and may you live an intimate life with the people that you love. Come,
It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.